Hi everybody, it's Clarissa from Sapphyre Dreams. I'm making a video today on locking your hair. A lot of people have a lot of fears and apprehensions about locking their hair because it is a big commitment. So a lot of times I'll get a client that starts them and stops them maybe 2, 3 times before they're ready, talks about it for like a year before they're ready because it is a big commitment. It takes time and patience. Your locks don't mature and look as good as you would like them to look overnight, but the various stages are really nice. So if you embrace it and say, okay, my hair's not going to look like that right away, like I have 6 years of growth, so it's not going to come into fruition right away, but it's anything that takes patience. Anything that's worth anything takes patience. So it's worth it in the end. Usually people wait and wait, and then eventually when they do it, they're like, oh, I waited so long and I was so scared. But there's nothing to be afraid of. Everybody that I have ever seen decide to have locks has looked nice in them, honestly. Um, as long as they're groomed, and that's just my opinion because it doesn't have to be in your opinion that they have to be necessarily groomed in a certain way, but locks really bring out people's natural beauty, I think. But anyway, I'm going to talk about different ways that you can start your locks and the size of locks and stuff like that. So I think that before you lock your hair, you should try a style like a two-strand twist, either extensions or your own hair, because this will give you kind of an idea of what you're going to look like with locks. Your locks probably won't look like that, or they could look like just like that. You don't really know until your hair locks. But at least it gives you an idea of what a lock kind of looks like on your head, and it's a good way to start out. So two-strand twist extension, or your hair if your hair is long enough, or if you just have short hair with two-strand twist, that's good too. Just try it out, see how it looks. So the three ways that I personally start locks are with a comb twist, two-strand twist, or braid. Some people start with extensions, like some type of kinky extension or a braid to start off locks. I personally don't do that. I don't do any extensions. It's all natural. I do it straight from your natural hair. I just prefer it that way. So it's just preference. Your stylist might advise that you do some type of extension. If you're okay with that, then go ahead and start your locks that way. But a comb twist basically is you take a barber comb or a cutting comb, and with the smaller end, your stylist would take little sections of your hair and kind of bring the comb through and turn it into a little coil. So you have little coils all over your head. I usually generally only start people off like that when they have like an inch and a half or less of hair, because it's kind of hard to keep that coil in place. I don't like to use a whole bunch of hard gels or anything like that. Like on my other product video, you saw that I used 2 light gels, because you don't want a whole bunch of stuff. You don't want to start off your locks caking it up with a whole bunch of stuff. So you can do the comb twist. I personally like the two-strand twist the best. I do that with people who have 2 inches of hair or longer. You just take 2 pieces of hair together and twist it in a clockwise manner. There's another thing called the Senegalese twist, and it's counterclockwise. 2 strands is clockwise, and that's specifically for locking hair. Um, Me personally, I was taught to always twist clockwise because that is the way our hair goes, clockwise. So your hair kind of wants to go that way generally, so you just keep doing it in that manner. In that way, if you say, okay, I'm twisting your hair, all your locks are going clockwise. Every time you get your hair twisted, if you can't make it to the same stylist, you can just tell the next stylist, my hair is twisted clockwise. I think that most people twist that way anyway, but of course, there's different people, variations, it's an art form, so people do different things. So, I twist them clockwise, two-strand twist clockwise. The third way would be braids. You can do like single block braids, or I do like a crescent moon parting and do braids. That generally, I really don't do that too much, because I don't like the way it looks too much. Usually if it's like a guy that has a softer texture of hair and his hair will not stay, that's stay twisted, then a braid might be one of your only options to try and keep your hair in place until it starts to mat up and stay in place on its own. So a braid is a third option. Um, but like I said, my favorite is a two-strand twist. Now, someone gave me a question about a couple weeks ago about the size of a lock. She said she wanted her locks to be about my size, and she had 86 locks, and she was told that the size of the lock depends on the number of locks. No, that's not true. The number of locks on your head, it doesn't matter. That someone could have 5 locks on their head, and they could be very, very thin if they don't have a lot of strands of hair on their head. So it depends on the density of your hair. It depends on the parting size, and that's basically what the size of your locks depend on. My hair is extremely thick, so my parting size are medium, probably about medium size. They're not small parting sizes. They're medium. They're probably about this big each. You can see that? Maybe a little small. About that big each. So my hair is very thick. So in the beginning when I started them out with about 4 to 5 inches of new growth. I did a two-strand twist on myself, and I did the partings medium. So eventually they came out to be about a pencil thickness, a pencil and a half, I guess. Um, yeah, they're crinkly right now, so they're kind of hard to tell. But you can have. She has 86 locks. I have probably well over 125, maybe to 150. I haven't counted them in a long time. I'll have to do that the next time I do my hair. But um, if you have thin hair, and if someone were to come to me and say, I want your size of your locks, I would say, okay, look at the density of her hair. If her hair isn't the same density as mine, her partings have to be bigger because more hair has to go into each of her locks for them to come out the same size as mine. I hope I'm making this clear. But basically, your loctician should ask you what size you want. That's very important. That should be done in a consultation. So just make sure you're asked that question. If not, let them know. Maybe even ask them, how do you figure out what size my locks are going to be? Because that is an important question in cultivating your locks. You don't want to start your locks off and then when they come out this big each, wonder why, because they didn't ask you what size you wanted and you didn't know what to look for, what answer to look for. So just make sure that your loctician asks you that question and you will be happy in the end. That is about it. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say was your locks thin out as they get longer. My locks were thicker than this when they started. They were puffier because I just had free hair that I was twisting together. Once they get a little more cylindrical and mat together and get denser, and the weight of them starts pulling them down as they grow, they do get thinner. So in the beginning, my locks might have looked fatter than they do now. They definitely did, and it was done with a two-strand twist. So don't let what they look like in the beginning um, let you think that, oh, they put the wrong size in my head or they're going to be too big. No, they're going to thin out in a while. So the partings are important, the density is important, and a good consultation with your stylist is important. So if anybody has any other questions regarding locks, natural styles, any type of natural hair care tips or questions, you can give me an email at lionessc@hotmail.com, lionessc@hotmail.com, and I will be more than happy to help you out. All right, have a good day. Sapphyre Dreams of Boston.